And hello, everyone. Welcome inside Reliance Stadium with Ken Moore. I'm Brett Dolan. Great to have you with us. Lamar Consolidated and Lamar tonight. Two rich tradition programs, Ken. They've hung state championship banners in the not-so-distant past. Well, Lamar Consolidated started 2-1. Lamar just 1-2, and they've had a couple of difficult losses against good teams, but they really want to find a way to get a win tonight and not start 1-3.
Yeah, Coach Jackson really wants to get his ball club back on track. What better place to do it than Reliance Stadium, a place where they had success last season in the playoffs, a big victory here, and they want to see if they can replicate that here this evening.
Well, let's talk about the two quarterbacks because that's where it all begins. As far as Lamarque is concerned, Ladarian Ellis-Jones, he was a tailback last year, now the QB this season, and they want better production out of him to help this team get some wins.
Well, he's still a young quarterback, just a junior. Last year as a sophomore, he did most of his damage on the ground. He's doing a lot of his damage this year on the ground, but from the quarterback position, they just want to see a little bit more consistency with his play throwing the football.
Let's talk about Lamar Consolidated because as their quarterback goes, a 3-year starter, Scott Nohavitsa, he's a good one, and he's put up good numbers, and that's one of the reasons why the Mustangs have started 2-1.
Nohavitsa has been very solid so far this season, got his team to the playoffs last year. They ended on a disappointing note, only ended 5-6, but he got that playoff experience that's really helping him a lot in the opening preseason game so far this year.
Time to kick it off. Lamar Consolidated and Lamar will be back and get things underway in just a moment.
Time waits for no one, and those who look only to their past are rarely ready for their future. Never underestimate our ability, because after all, we are Texans.
Here's a crazy idea. What if your bank actually paid you for using your debit card? Let's say 10 cents for every $10 or more debit card purchase. How amazing would that be? We call it Cashback Counts Checking from Community Bank, a free debit card that pays you to use it. Even he's smiling at that. Swipe all you can from your bank. Community Bank of Texas. Bank where you live.
Reliance Stadium is the site. Lamar Consolidated. The Mustangs are 2-1. Lamarque, the Cougars, are 1-2. And the captains meet at midfield here at Reliance Stadium. And Ken, great to be indoors here at Reliance tonight after a day of rain throughout the entire Houston area.
Yeah, it looks like the entire weekend may be a washout for a lot of the ball clubs, but we are lucky enough to be indoors tonight. And I tell you what, Brett, is always something special when you're a high school player getting to go inside of a big stadium. I can remember back in the 80s when I was a kid over at Forest Brook out in North Forest, when we would go play at the Astrodome, it was always a big build-up to that ball game. It's one you circled on the calendar when you first got that schedule in August, and I can tell you what, for both of these ball clubs tonight, it's going to be great to be inside, playing inside of a pro facility.
Coach Mike Jackson with Lamarque said, hey, our kids played here last year, the weekend after Thanksgiving in the playoffs, and he said it hasn't been a big topic of conversation this week, but he knew once the kids got inside tonight, you start to look up into the rafters and see the facility where the Texans do their thing each and every Sunday.
Yeah, absolutely, especially for Lamarque because they have been here before. So now they get a chance to build upon that, especially for the juniors and the sophomores that maybe didn't get a chance to play in that playoff game last year. And for Lamar Consolidated, it's going to be something a little bit new. It's going to be an experience to see how they react under the lights here in Reliance Stadium tonight. They're going to have some butterflies early, but they're going to have to get them knocked out real soon.
All right, Ken, how about your keys to tonight's game?
Let's take a look at them right now. They're going to have to stack the line of scrimmage. As we talk about Lamarque, they're going to have to stop the run. They need to apply pressure, force the Mustangs into mistakes, and remember Reliance. As we talked about, big playoff win here last year. They want to do it again under the big lights.
About ready to kick this one off tonight.
And as we look at Lamar Consolidated, their keys, they're going to be run by committee. Last year, they were a one-man attack in the backfield with Keyshawn Leonard running for over 1,000 yards. He's gone. You'll see 3 tailbacks rotate to that. Also, they're going to have to limit Ladarian, the quarterback on the other side of the field. He can throw it and run it, and they also have to be solid up front. Their front 7 defensively is going to have to control this football game.
Both of these teams have scored quite a few points. In fact, Lamar last week, they lost by 2 points on a safety to Cold Spring Oakhurst. Meanwhile, Lamar Consolidated, they put up 41 against Fort Bend Clements to earn a 41-27 victory. But it'll be Lamar, the Cougars, getting the football first to start this one here tonight. Kicking off for Lamar Consolidated, Leo Ruiz, their outstanding place kicker. That ball is going to head towards the sidelines and go out of bounds, and that's why the flag will fly, and it'll be good field position for Lamar to begin things here tonight.
Yeah, we look at the main guys for Lamar. Ellis Jones, the quarterback, 213 yards, 3 touchdowns through the air, 5 on the ground so far this season. And Mike Hardeman, his big receiver on the outside, 3 touchdowns here in the early going so far in 2013.
Those are the players we'll watch for, especially early in this one. 8 returning starters on this offense for Lamar from last year, averaging almost 350 yards a game, so moving the football has not been a problem, although we'll see what they can do tonight. Ladarian Ellis Jones, he is the quarterback as we focused on. 213 yards passing over the course of this season.
And they'll operate out of the spread.
And already a quick whistle, and there was movement. Lamar tries to operate with some tempo. They run a hybrid hurry-up offense that they call Orabama, kind of a combination of Oregon and Alabama, but already a procedure penalty to start things this evening.
Yeah, and they will run it out of that spread quite a bit as well. And, of course, that front 7 on the other side of the football is going to be a tough task to deal with.
Daquan Jones is the running back who lines up to the left of Ellis Jones. Coach Mike Jackson said we're going to find out about a few of these guys tonight. Mix in some young men that maybe haven't carried the football quite as much over the first couple of weeks. And the opening pass play. And that one is going absolutely nowhere. The pass was collected by Reggie Franklin, but wrapped up by that swarming Lamar Consolidated defense.
Yeah, Seville Ford, the first man there, able to make the stop, goes 5'9", 165. As we look at the rest of the Cougar offense in the backfield, Daquan Jones, along with Dalian Richard. The receivers, James, Cooper, and Hardeman. Up front, the big guys, Gaines, Laws, Dupree, Baker, and the right tackle, Ashton Holmes.
Second play from scrimmage is Daquan Jones just diving across the line, shy of the 25. It'll be 3rd and long upcoming for Lamar, rather.
Yeah, and we look at that tough Cougar defense, Randall, Edwards, and Williams, Brown, and King, Wayne, the linebackers, Middleton, Lopez, and the safeties, Ford, Randall, the cornerbacks, Granger, and Bryce Malone.
3rd and long, Ellis on the rollout, looking to throw, and that pass is too tall. Intended for his wide receiver, Quincy James, incomplete. It'll be 4th down, and the Mustangs will get the football.
Well, a good opening series for this Lamar Consolidated defense. Coach Jackson talked to you in the pregame about that aggressive front 7. It looks to give his team some problems here tonight.
He was worried about the athleticism on defense after that penalty. Lamar just couldn't get unraveled offensively, and they'll be forced to punt. Datron Coles had 4 punts this year for an average of around 36 yards, and Lamar hoping to get good field position. We might have another marker already on the field or a timeout. Looks like Lamar had some confusion. They'll have to call a timeout in order to keep from moving back another 5 yards.
Shaky start so far for the blue and gold on the far side of the field. Coach Jackson can't be too happy about having to burn a timeout on special teams after a 3-and-out.
See Lamarque huddled up before they come out and punt. Just a couple of minutes into this one.
10:47 to go here, first period. First possession of the ball game. As we mentioned, that Lamar Consolidated defense forcing them back. Had a penalty on the first play, having to call a timeout here on special teams.
Oh, the bands are here tonight.
The bands are in full effect. A little bit of a late arriving crowd due to some of the traffic and weather conditions here in the greater Houston area this evening.
Mikey Randall hoping for a chance to return a punt, and he is a weapon to say the least. Stands just inside the 50. And Cole about 10 yards deep. Little different formation here for a punt. Cole just a quick snap and a low kick.
Wow.
Boy, Randall catches that, and he has a chance for a return. Randall inside the 40, and great field position for Lamar Consolidated when they'll get the football for the first time.
Well, considering the circumstances of that low line dry kick, it was actually pretty decent coverage by the special teams of Lamar. But Lamar Consolidated will have excellent field position for their quarterback, Scott Noavitsa, on the season. 20 of 35, 282 yards, a pair of touchdowns, also a pair of TDs for his tailback, Darius Turner, and his big wideout, number 2, Bobby Lewis.
Lewis, number 2, will flank to the left side. Meanwhile, the pistol formation. Running right is Ross. Philip Ross near the 30 when he's popped out of bounds. Nice gain on first down for this Mustangs offense. And we'll take a look at their starters.
Well, of course, we mentioned the quarterback, Scott Noavitsa. Pair of the tailbacks, Philip Ross and Darius Turner. They'll share the workload tonight. Randall and Lewis are the wideouts.
Darius Turner, the carry. He'll have the first down as he dives to around the 27-yard line.
This is a Lamar Consolidated offense that averages over 270 yards per game on the ground, only 94 through the air. They will try to eat up the clock with their ball control attack.
Scored 41 points last week against Clements High School, a 5A team. Noavitsa, the keeper, gets to the corner. He's at the 10, and he'll be escorted out of bounds at around the 7-yard line. A nice gain from Noavitsa inside the Lamar 10-yard line.
And he picked up a nice block from his wideout, Bobby Lewis, at the top of the screen. You see Lewis going in motion now. He'll switch over here to the near side, but he had an excellent block on that first down carry.
Darius Turner is the running back behind Noavitsa in the pistol formation. The give instead to Ross. And that pile will start to move inside the 5-yard line. Nothing fancy on that play, but it'll be second and goal from about the 3.5 or 4-yard line.
Ross last week, 7 carries, 84 yards, a pair of touchdowns as they look to strike early here on the first period here tonight.
One of those touchdowns came from 87 yards. It'll take a shorter plunge here, and the give goes to Darius Turner. He's near the goal line, and the officials will mark him just shy.
Yeah, Turner got turned around on that play, so he did not get into the end zone. It's going to be a 3rd and goal situation.
Lamar Consolidated quickly up to the line. Noavitsa, the quarterback, will purge into the end zone, but there is a marker down. This may be against the Mustangs when it was 3rd and goal from about the half-yard line.
Yeah, previously you saw the play where Turner got turned sideways, did not get into the end zone. Now the officials discussing the situation. And we're going to get a ruling here.
Offsides defense. So, of course, the touchdown stands for the Mustangs. And Noavitsa with his 4th rushing score of the season.
Well, just a little simple quarterback dive got him into the end zone for the first score of the ball game.
Leo Ruiz is the place kicker. from the hold of Mikey Randall. Randall does a little bit of everything. He'll hold here, and Ruiz's kick is right through. Another marker on the field. Again, it looks like it's offsides Lamar, so they've had a couple of infractions just lining up incorrectly.
Well, we thought Lamar Consolidated may be the nervous team. Their first time out here at Reliant in some time. Lamar just played here last year, but they're looking pretty nervous here early on.
Mustangs score first. Lamar will get the football back when we come back. 7-0 our score.
Emergency Center, we don't just save lives, we save
mothers, sons,
best friends, little ones,
running partners, wives,
daddies.
At Neighbors Emergency Center, you're not just a patient, you're a top priority. Neighbors Emergency Center, care that counts, experience that matters.
Lamar Consolidated up 7-0. Each team has had the football one time. Lamar went 3 and out. The Mustangs got great field position and punched it in the end zone.
Yeah, quick 38-yard drive gets them into the end zone. Still over 9 minutes to go here, first period. Lamar Consolidated looking very good early on, up 7-0.
So Ruiz will kick off for the second time tonight. From the 5-yard line, Jones with the return. With a sprint, he's up near the 30. Another late marker came flying in. So a lot of penalties here in our first couple of minutes.
The referees definitely have their flags ready to fly here this evening. As we'll get the call.
Most of those infractions have gone against the Cougars.
Yeah, Cougars having a very difficult time here early on. Here's the replay coming here. Good seam right up the gut. There was a hold. That'll bring them back. That'll put them inside the 20.
Marque, a 5-time state champion. Their last was in 2006. 5-time state finalist the last 2010.
And they're one of the premier 3A powers in the state of Texas. Going against a Lamar Consolidated team out of 23 4A. Referees get a new ball into play. And we'll crank it up here. 1st and 10 from the 17.
So Ladarian Ellis-Jones, the quarterback, see if he goes under center. He will with an offset eye behind him. Boy, very little running room against that stout defensive line for Lamar Consolidated.
Yeah, he ran into a brick wall in that opening play.
Nowhere to go for Daquan Jones, the sophomore, who came in with 13 carries for more than 100 yards. Coach Jackson promised a bigger look for Daquan Jones and got the carry there, but nothing doing. In fact, he may have lost a yard, so 2nd and 11. One area to watch this year, Ellis passing the football. 39% completion this season. His pass is complete to Alan Cooper. Taken out around the 23-yard line. Cooper, a busy man last year, caught nearly 40 balls.
And that's one thing Coach Jackson wants to do for the young quarterback here tonight. Try to get him some confidence on some short throws out in the flat. You see him here, just a quick drop, has his receiver open, a nice, easy catch to try to build that confidence.
3rd and short, 3rd and 4. Lamar Consolidated may have jumped. There's a high pass up for grabs that'll sail beyond the intended receiver, Mike Hardiman. But it should be a first down after a penalty on Lamar Consolidated. One of their ends may have jumped.
Man, that throw was like a Shane Leckler punt. He just threw that one up for grabs. That is not what Coach Jackson wants to see.
So Cooper had the catch after getting 7 last week. And then instead of that third down and short play, and offsides on the Mustangs will move the football and give Lamarque the first down, their first down here tonight. Although the officials have not walked off the infraction just yet.
I think the officials having some Reliance Stadium jitters here so far this evening as well.
Now we'll mark it off. And it'll be a first down for the Cougars. Coach Jackson knew the schedule was going to be tough. He called it a test. Was hoping for maybe a split between those opening games with Texas City and then Cold Spring last week. Running play by Cooper, and he stays on his feet. Moves the sticks and more. Big gain for Cooper up near midfield. The junior's not a big guy, Ken. You look at him there, 5'9", 170, but he runs like a big heart player.
Yeah, he'll come around on the jet sweep and nothing but running room. A lot of green grass over here to the near side as Consolidated goes for the strip. There was Granger on the stop, but he gets him out near midfield. Another first down for Lamar.
Caleb Granger went for a ride, gain up near the 49-yard line, so now the Cougars have a little tempo. Ellis Jones under center again. Richard got into Lamar Consolidated territory and then thrown backwards, and another marker drop. So hard to get tempo with all the flags, but that's a personal foul face mask on the Mustangs, and Lamarque will gladly take it.
Well, we saw all the penalties on the first drive going against Lamarque. Now Lamar Consolidated. They're deciding to get into the old penalty equation, if you will.
Well, yes, they are. Face mask. I believe it was on Kelvin Robles. But regardless, the football is marked down at the 36-yard line. So with Lamar Consolidated leading 7-0, the Cougars are on the march. Ellis just takes, turns, and runs. Another marker down.
Wow. It's going to be tough for either of these ball clubs to get any rhythm at this rate.
Holding on Lamarque.
Let's see if we can pick it up. 5 right there. Yeah, he just tackles the defender.
Val Allen, who's really the heart and soul of their defense, on a lead block, flagged for holding.
And that's obvious. The ref can't help but to call that.
See what the Cougars do on 1st and long. Ball's up for grabs, intended for Hardiman. Incomplete. Granger there on the coverage, along with Mikey Randall. We'll call his name a lot tonight. We'll take another look.
Yeah, again, that's just one of those ill-advised throws by Ellis Jones as he just tosses it up for grabs. Receiver has absolutely no chance of making that connection.
Boy, with Hardiman's size, you would think he'd be a target that you can loft the ball a little higher against those D-backs, but not that high. So 2nd and 20.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar couldn't have caught that pass.
Ellis Jones rolling out. Leads his receiver, and that ball is caught. Demetrius James got behind the coverage and made a fantastic catch inside the 15-yard line.
Now that's where Ellis Jones can shine. He can use his running ability, throwing on the run outside the pocket. Beautiful pass downfield for the connection.
Big gainer, first down. And now the Cougars can try and punch this in the end zone to tie up this football game.
You see some late substitutions coming in now for Lamarque.
Allen, who was whistled for the holding penalty, back in. Another look. Meanwhile, the Cougars stay on the ground. And Alan Cooper carries the football down to about the 6.
And this is a drive that started back at the 17-yard line. few penalties against the Mustang defense help put Lamar in this situation.
Dylan Richard will try and lead block, provides a good block for Ellis Jones, and he's near the marker. And the Cougars get a first down without getting a touchdown. The football's marked at the 2, and that should be enough to make it 1st and goal, and it is.
Yeah, a pair of sixes with a head-on collision at the 3-yard line. Ellis Jones and Serville Ford. Big hit on the play. And now we're looking at a 1st and goal now for the Cougars as they look to tie this ball game up as we go under the 6-minute mark here in the first period from Reliance Stadium in Houston.
Lamar Consolidated had a short field. They scored on their first drive, but now Lamar in their second offensive series. And you see their sidelines. The Cougars trying to punch it in. Football's loose on the carpet. And Ladarian Ellis Jones just had a dive on top of it. He lost a yard, but he's just happy to have it back.
Yeah, it looks like a low snap from center. We'll see if we can pick up. I'm not sure if the center thought he was under center. It may have been what happened on that play, but nevertheless, they lose a pair back to the 4. 2nd and goal from there.
Terry Quebecois, the linebacker, just about got on top of that football. Keep in mind, this was a Lamar team that last week lost a game 24-22 with 2 minutes to go in the game. The snap went over their punter's head through the end zone for a safety. They lose by 2, a heartbreaker. 2nd and goal, nowhere to go for Ellis Jones and thrown backwards. So after Lamar got to the 2, they've now seen a couple of yards slip away, and it'll be 3rd and goal from about the 4 or 5 yard line.
Yeah, Andre Lofton, big 72 right in the middle of your screen. He shot the gap and was in the backfield quickly. Drops him for a 1-yard loss. Now 3rd and 5 for the Cougs.
Shot of the sideline for Lamar Consolidated. Their defense trying to make a stand after it was 1st and goal from the 2. And this is an important sequence right now for Lamar.
Yeah, absolutely. They definitely want to try to gain some confidence. A shaky start here tonight. And now we're going to have another stoppage of play. Timeout number 2 against Lamar.
So important of a sequence, they'll call a timeout to talk things over with that play clock winding down on 3rd and goal from the 5. Meanwhile, Lamar Consolidated will try to their sidelines and talk as well with their defensive coordinator. The one loss for Lamar Consolidated came at home. They lost a 10-7 game to Alief Elsik. Meanwhile, Lamar, we talked about their heartbreaker last week, a 24-22 game against Cold Spring. They'll get them again later on this season. They'll play them 4 times in 2 years, so they'll mark that game for later on in the season. But this tradition-rich program certainly doesn't want to start 1-3. And you know, Coach Jackson knows it's difficult to schedule. When you're a top 3A team, not everybody wants to play you. You have to go up and play some 4A schools, and that's not always easy.
Yeah, absolutely. And they had a chance to play Lamar Consolidated last year, dominated that football game 39-14. It was a 14-14 tie after the first period last year between these two ball clubs. But Lamar went on a big run the 2nd through the 4th quarters to end up with a big victory. So now Lamar Consolidated looking for revenge here tonight.
Ellis Jones hands off on the jet sweep to Daquan Jones, trying to get to the corner. Great open field tackle around the 2-yard line, and there's a late flag and another marker.
Wow. I'm not sure I totally agree. I get it that you have to call that personal foul because he was out of bounds. But Lindsey of Lamar Consolidated was headed full speed to try to keep him out of the end zone. And I think, if anything, just his momentum carried him into the ball carrier.
Mikey Randall, I believe the man that was flagged.
We'll see it again. Randall.
I thought it was Middleton. No, it's Randall.
Yeah, Randall on the tackle.
It
comes right here.
It is number 19, yeah. Patrick Middleton.
Nevertheless, it's going to be 1st and goal once again for Lamar. They'll get 4 more cracks at it, this time from the 1.
Lamar's defense thought they had stopped the Cougars, but instead they'll have to take another sequence or series of downs. 1st and goal, and it looked like movement again.
Wow.
Another marker down.
Are you kidding me? We may have to pull out the old record books and see what the record is for penalties in the first period of a football game here in the state of Texas. My goodness.
It's Michael Smither who jumped. Now, he is a big guy, 6'6", 340 pounds. Some of the preseason magazines, they highlight or focus on players. Smither was one of those. He was not listed as a starter tonight, was not hurt. It may be an issue of just trying to encourage a little better effort.
Well, plays like that won't encourage you to stay on the field very
No, they
long.
won't. Ellis Jones will be able to escape the first and second tackle attempts, but finally dropped by Ford. Do we have another flag on the play, or am I just seeing Hankey's drop?
Yeah, it might be yellow shoes of Lamar. Yeah, it's just a simple quarterback keeper. Nothing special there. Snap it and run.
Eugene King had a chance for a play, a negative tackle effort, but wasn't able to make the play regardless. Again, they had first and goal at the 1. Here it's second and goal from the 5. That ball's up for grabs, and too tall for Hardiman. Hardiman just didn't time his leap. He towers over the defensive back, which is Caleb Granger, probably has 5 or 6 inches on him, but he jumped too soon in that soft, high lob pass.
And Hardiman, a senior wide receiver. We'll take a look at it again. That's the previous play. But now, nevertheless, it'll be third and goal. 3:28 to go.
Keep in mind, this started first and goal from the 2. They went through an entire series of downs, had first and goal at the 1. And here we are, third and goal from the 5, and they may be going in reverse.
And there's just no excuse for that. Wide receiver on the far side, your wide receiver should never jump. He's right there next to the ref. All you do is look inside to the football. When the football moves, you move. That's it.
Get the feeling Lamarque would like to start this one over.
I think I want to start this one over.
Man, they were on the doorstep 2 different times. Another fade for Hardiman. See if he times the leap. He was hit from behind.
Oh, boy.
Looked like he had the inside position, towering over Caleb Granger. Granger wrapped his arms around him a bit and gets flagged for what will probably be defensive interference and give the Cougars another first and goal.
Third set of new downs for Lamar. Let's watch it.
I think this is a good call, Ken. I think he has the hands around him.
Yeah.
Got to call that.
Yeah. I mean, what's he going to do? I mean, he's half a foot shorter, you know.
Good look at Coach Mike Jackson and his assistants on the sidelines. It's rare when you get 3 opportunities for a first and goal from about the 1.5-yard line.
Unbelievable.
Ladarian Ellis-Jones able to put the football in the gut of Richard. He's near the goal line. He's in for a touchdown for Lamarque, and they're a PAT away from tying up this game. And that was a battle of attrition. They were going to wear down Lamar Consolidated and find the end zone eventually.
Well, if at first you don't succeed, try 10 times and you finally get in.
Keep hoping for penalties. Ricky Guillen will try and get his 10th extra point this season. Guess what, Ken?
Wow. Well, here's a look at the touchdown run. This little inside squeeze, if you will, and he just sneaks over the pylon to get into the end zone. Breaks the plane.
Ellis-Jones, the quarterback, will stay on and hold for what in essence is a 25-yard extra point from Ricky Guillen. He's hit 9 this year, and the left-footed kicker will knock one up and through, and there is another penalty flag on the field. Almost every play, Ken. 2 out of every 3 at least. Block below the waist going against Lamarque, so this will make this more than a tester to try and tie up this game.
It might be a situation here you might go for 2. If you're
I believe it was
of,
on number 22, Ken, and see if that's on the left side of your screen. And Cooper.
Let's see here. Yeah, it just goes low. And the lineman, by the officials' count, was engaged already with 1 blocker, and you can't go low when he's already engaged. I think we've seen every penalty in the book called here in the first period.
We were talking about maybe going for 2. It looks like they'll line up, but this is really a 40-yard extra point try. We're going to find out if Ricky Guillen has the leg from 40. Remember, Lamar Consolidated leads by a point. So this extra point is to even the score late in the first. And another flag, and that kick wasn't even close. We'll see if maybe there was too much time taken or movement on the Cougars.
Timeout, Lamar Consolidated. So, no penalty that time at least, but another timeout burned. 3:18 to go here, first period, in a penalty-filled first quarter. Neither coach can be happy about what they've seen so far in this ball game.
Now, partner, I've done 1 game in this building this year, and there was more than 300 yards combined penalties, and it was a college game, and there was probably another 100, 150 declined or offsetting penalties. So maybe it's me, but the fans that are here at Reliant tonight, they've seen a lot of yellow in the stands, and they've seen a lot of yellow on the field in those penalty markers.
Wow, I mean, just unbelievable production so far by both of these ball clubs. And we talked about the jitters that both teams coming out, and both coaches are going to have to get their teams under control. You know, we've seen pass interference, chop blocks, hits out of bounds, holding. Just about everything in the rule book has been broken here tonight. I hope nobody got a speeding ticket on the way over here to the stadium. They've broken so many rules. Well, with the weather conditions, probably not. But
Guillen's last kick was nowhere close.
No, so they're going to bring the offense back out now.
It's encouraged them to go for 2. I haven't seen many 2-point conversions from the 23-yard line, but that's what Lamarck will try and do. I'd be shocked if maybe they don't try and find Hardiman in the end zone again. He's going to line up basically as a tight end. Ellis Jones with another marker down will try and lead Richard, and the pass is incomplete. But again, an infraction will be forthcoming. We could decline that one, though, and so Lamar gets their score. It took them 3 tries on a 1st and goal in different sets of downs. They get the score. They don't get the PAT. 7-6, Lamar Consolidated with the lead.
I think I have the window seat.
You better double check that, my friend. Don't think we don't know who you are.
Yeah, I'm Aaron Rodgers.
No, that's not it. You're that State Farm discount double check guy.
Discount double check.
Thanks to the hundreds you saved us, we could upgrade the grill class.
Grill class?
Your tongs are in your seat back.
Save with the discount double check today.
Discount double check.
Get to a better state. State Farm.
You see our score, Lamar Consolidated 7, Lamarck 6. In our open, we talked about these 2 tradition-rich programs, but Ken, both teams have just had a devil of a time just going 1 or 2 plays in succession without a mistake or a penalty.
Unbelievable. And, you know, we've seen the replays here tonight. Pretty much all of the calls have been legitimate calls. So you really can't blame the referees if the players are going to continue to make mistakes. The officials are obligated to make the calls. It's going to be up to these coaches to grab their teams by the reins, reel them in, and get them back to playing just basic fundamental football.
What Lamarck needs to be concerned about is Mikey Randall, number 17. He is a dangerous return man and a big play special teams opportunist. We'll see if he gets a chance He's going to track one down near the sidelines, but that ball went out of bounds.
And there goes the flag.
So 2 of our 3 kickoffs have gone out of bounds.
You know, in Orlando this past weekend, the Orlando affiliate that carries the Jaguar games issued an apology scroll on the screen during the game for having to show the Jaguars. I'm not saying we should do that, but I almost feel compelled to apologize to our viewers right now because, wow, this is not aesthetically pleasing to the eye thus far.
Looks like Lamar Consolidated, instead of taking the football out of bounds, they're going to request that Lamar kick again. Hoping for a chance maybe to make a play. I mentioned before, these teams not that long ago have won state championships. Lamar Consolidated, they won theirs in 2007. Jaquiz Rogers. Lamarck won in 2006. They were in the championship game in 2010. So these programs used to winning. Their fans are used to outstanding teams.
Both teams in the playoffs just last year, so they'll get it together here shortly.
Let's hope it begins now. And Randall wanted to take that football. Instead, the ball was grabbed by Bobby Lewis, and Lewis returns across the 35, so about the 37-yard line. Ken, let's look at the comparison for these two teams. We were discussing them in our open as far as what they do scoring and points allowed, and that's a pretty good breakdown.
Yeah, and the big key is the rushing yards. You see 915 for Lamar Consolidated on your right. On the left, Lamar 813. Both teams like to control it on the ground, like to eat up clock, and put the other defense, likes to wear down the other defense.
So the Mustangs leading by a point. They have the football back. Darius Turner, one of the bigger skill players on the field, purges into the line. Looks like we're going to have a hold on the Mustangs. Our official, if he knew to turn towards our cameras, would have a lot of FaceTime tonight.
He would have a lot of FaceTime tonight. Could run for governor or mayor, all the FaceTime he's getting this evening.
There's a couple of different plays. It could have been whistled for a hold, so it'll be 1st and 20. Scott Nohavitsa, the 3-year starter at quarterback, will hand it off to Philip Ross. Tries to get to the corner. Up over the 35, chopped down at about the 36-yard line.
Let's hold our breath. Make sure there's no flags.
I think we're clear.
All right.
Outstanding open field tackle. It's made on the far sidelines. I think Chason Douglas, defensive back, with the effort. So Lamar Consolidated got a few of those yards back from the hold, but it'll be 2nd and 11. See the football marked at their 37-yard line. Nohavitsa rolling, looking to throw. Sheds one would-be tackle attempt. And there's a dump off to Bobby Lewis. Lewis put it on the carpet. The football's loose. Who's got it?
It looks like Lamar Consolidated recovered. Coming up with it, big number 35.
Darius Turner.
Yeah, Turner, Johnny on the spot. Looks like Lamar actually had first crack at it. As we look at it again, nice move by Nohavitsa there to elude the rush. Throws on the run, good completion. Nice move by the tailback there, and just got a little loose with the football. But Turner, Johnny on the spot, and I think they're going to get a first down out of the play.
Indeed, that's the case. So Bobby Lewis the fumble, but Lamar Consolidated gets the football back, and that play going backwards. And that's Philip Ross, nowhere to go.
Yeah, good job that time by Justin Britton, the defensive lineman, the senior, coming through to make the stop.
2nd and 14. Pistol formation, 3 receivers. You see him flank to the left. Darius Turner trying to get up near midfield. He's near the original line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd and long.
Yeah, and the Mustangs trying to go with a quick count that time to try to catch Lamar off balance. But the Cougars were right there. It's going to be 3rd and long near midfield.
Cougars trying to dial up a defensive stop and get the football back. Now, Noah Vitsa, an accurate passer, came into this game 21 of 35, almost 300 yards. Also somebody you have to watch with his running ability. But Noah Vitsa last week against Clements, 9 of 12 through the air, $161, so he had a big game. Passing situation here. Throwing for Mikey Randall. Short pass. Randall able to get away from a would-be tackle attempt, and that's about 10, 11 yards after contact. Instead of 4th down, he'll move the sticks for the Mustangs.
Wow, great individual effort that time by Randall. Looks like no way he gets out of this traffic jam, surrounded by 2, 3 Cougars, and he escapes for a 1st down.
Thought there was no way.
By Randall.
Maybe our final play here in our 1st quarter. Noah Vitsa will keep. Dropped at the 35. Short gain. The tackle was made by Kenneth Edwards, a junior defensive tackle. And we'll see if Lamar Consolidated wants to snap it one more time or whether they'll have mercy on everyone and try and gather themselves for the 2nd. Time running out, and that'll do it on our 1st quarter from Reliance Stadium. Well, one time we've heard a whistle that hasn't been a penalty marker.
It's probably they didn't throw a flag for double zeros on the clock.
1 quarter complete. Lamar Consolidated leads by a point over Lamar, 7-6.
Center, we don't just save lives, we save
mothers, sons,
best friends,
little ones,
running partners,
wives,
daddy.
At Neighbors Emergency Center, you're not just a patient, you're a top priority. Neighbors Emergency Center, care that counts, experience that matters.
One quarter complete indoors tonight. Lamar Consolidated with a 1-point lead, and the Mustangs on the march. You'll have it 2nd and 8 from the Lamar 35-yard line as we've switched sides here in quarter number 2. Brett Dolan, Ken Moore with you from Reliance Stadium. Noah Vitsa into the pocket with time to throw. Steps up, heaves the deep ball, no one home. This one will sail out of the end zone. Randall, I believe, was the intended target, but he was caught up around the 15, and that one sailed 20 yards beyond his reach.
Good coverage in the secondary that time by the Cougars. They brought an extra man on the rush, the 4-down lineman. They also brought the middle linebacker. Vitsa just overshot everyone.
So it's 3rd and 8. Bobby Lewis, one of the 3 wide receivers to the left. He's on the outside of that trio for the Mustangs. Noah Vitsa looking for Lewis. Little bubble screen. Bouncing outside of the 30. He'll have the 1st down. So Bobby Lewis, with some individual effort, he held onto the football and gets the 1st down as he's dropped at the 22.
And again, bad tackling in the Cougar secondary. As you'll watch the receiver elude a couple of defenders. There's one there. There's 3 more there. And it's just no reason for him to be able to pick up a 1st down. But the 2nd time tonight, excellent after the carry.
Reggie Franklin was one of those that missed. Just a grinding run here from Darius Turner. Nothing fancy at all, but he'll carry for almost 10 yards, just driving to about the 12-yard line.
Yeah, just dragging Cougars along the way. Consolidated looking to add to their 1-point lead.
Is indeed a 1st down, so 1st and 10 from the 12. Why not give it to Turner again? Moving the pile to about the 7. Big load of a running back is Darius Turner.
Yeah, Turner averaging over 5 yards per play. Did he cough up the football?
Lamarck says they have it.
And the officials agree. Wow.
Boy, Turner disappeared in the pile. We'll see it again here on the replay. Find out if we can locate the fumble.
And he's piled up there. The ball must have come free. I see both of his hands with no football in it, so apparently he got stripped in that melee, and a big play by the Cougar defense.
Might have been Reggie Franklin who knocked that football loose. Two-time first-team All-District player who wasn't at full strength last week, but is supposed to be this week. He's been involved in a lot of plays. Maybe got credit to knock that football away. So instead of seeing Lamar Consolidated punch it in for another score, Lamar gets the football back down a point deep in their own territory. Ladarian Ellis-Jones just turns and sprints, racing to his left across the 10. Dropped by Mikey Reynolds, who last year led the team in tackles and receptions. You talk about these smaller schools, 3A and 4A, and Randall, a guy that could lead his team in both tackles and receptions, and he dropped Ellis-Jones here.
Yeah, going both ways. A lot of fun for a lot of kids. Very difficult for some, but he makes the most of it. It's going to be second and short. Nice gain on first down. Big defensive stop by the Cougars, though. Maybe that'll get their confidence brewing.
Ellis-Jones, you see him operate the offense. Came into the game with 5 rushing touchdowns, almost 370 yards of rushing offense. This time just a simple handoff into the line and not much there.
Both defenses playing well so far early in this one.
Daquan Jones the carry, maybe a yard or two, but it's going to be third and about a long yard for the Marque to stay on the field. The flag will fall as Lamarck tried to push the pile forward to get the first down. Ellis-Jones on the keeper. We'll see if someone lined up off sides or whether there was some movement.
There was a long break between penalties.
It was. Well, we've had some important penalties and killers, but that has to rank right up there, Ken, because 3rd and 1, just push the pile forward, get the first down. Now it's a 3rd and 6 after they're backed up 5 more yards.
And if you don't pick up the first down, you allow Lamar Consolidated to end up with really good field position on the change of possession.
Ladarian Ellis-Jones barking at instructions, working from the gun, 3rd and 6. Tries to get Lamar Consolidated to jump. May have been the case. The fade for Hardeman, he caught it, but he was out of bounds. Double team near the sideline. The boundary was the 3rd defender on that play, but I believe it was a free play. Hard count maybe from Ellis-Jones to try and get the Mustangs front to jump.
Yeah, they'll get the 5 yards back. So we're back to where we began, 3rd and 1.
I think that was Eugene King who jumped. Big number 55.
Yep, right at the top of your screen. He knew it.
If he didn't, Chris Williams was thinking about jumping on the left side of the line. So on 3rd and 1, Ellis-Jones will not even go under center. But he'll try and sprint into the line, and he's wrapped up from behind, and King was the first man there. So after King jumped on the previous play, came flying around to try and take down Ellis-Jones shy of the marker. It'll be 4th down.
Well, it looks like they've scouted that quarterback keeper pretty well. Second time tonight that Ellis-Jones has gotten little to nothing on that keeper, and now it's going to be a punting situation for the Cougs.
And Daylon Richard, one of the halfbacks, you see number 17 limping off to the sidelines for the Marque. Cole to punt, even though he's right now just standing inside his 10. Mikey Randall isn't even at his own 35-yard line. He'll be anticipating a short kick, hoping for a chance to make a play, and Cole will just turn and kick, sending Randall back to about the 46. Fair catch made. Like he had a return set up, but with great field position, he'll make the fair catch and give the Mustangs the football back. Remember, they fumbled going in for a score in their last drive.
Yeah, 32 yards on the punt, 0 on the return. Nice high kick that time. So now the Cougar defense, again, trying to defend their own turf as Lamar Consolidated will start on the other side of the 50.
Again, this game is not a masterpiece, but I'll make the argument that both teams have settled down just a bit since maybe the first 6 or 7 minutes of game clock in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. I think both teams trying to get under control and trying to avoid the dreaded yellow flag.
Noah Vitsa will keep it himself. Waited until the last possible second, able to move the football down to the 36, right at the marker. Held onto that ball, did not give it to Ross. The zone read at its very finest, and we'll see it again.
Yeah, just watch him, the good inside fake, and he'll keep it himself. And then again, missed tackles in the secondary. The Cougars are going to have to hit those tackling dummies come Monday because they are letting a lot of yards go after contact.
It's a great read by Noah Vitsa to get those first 5 or 6, but your point is valid. There have been missed tackles that have allowed extra yards, so much in fact that these officials will bring on the sticks and measure to see how close the Mustangs are.
Yeah, we've already seen a couple of first downs by the receivers after catch. Call them yak, yards after catch, and now the quarterback, yards after contact.
So it's a first down for Lamar Consolidated. Their students, their fans, brightly dressed tonight. Mustangs lead by a point and on the march. And the give is to Darius Turner with a head of steam, and he's chopped down hard. A good open field tackle by Reggie Franklin. Back before another gain of 10 or 11. But I hesitate to say it, but you can probably guess.
Say it.
Another one down.
All right, Turner, big hole. There may be a reason why. It's coming back. The senior.
The illegal shift.
Wow.
Back up the Mustangs.
My goodness.
So much of football is flow and rhythm. We've had neither. 1st and 15. Back at the 41. Ross with Turner out ahead of him blocking. Very little running room. Swarm tackling that time. You saw Reggie Franklin. He was involved, along with number 32 as well.
Anthony Wright came up with a big stick, so there wasn't going to be any yak on that play. He came up with a big hit. Dropped him for a loss. A 3-yard gain, actually.
Still 2nd and long, 2nd and 12. Noah Vitsa setting up to throw.
Oh.
That pass was nearly picked. It was Franklin again. We've started to call his name a lot, Ken. I mentioned a 2-time first-team All-District player. Last year he had 84 tackles, 3 picks. That ball just about found him.
Yeah, the intended receiver was Bobby Lewis. Lewis zigged, and Noah Vitsa thought he was going to zag, and it nearly got picked.
Boy, Coach Jackson talking about Franklin said if he comes in your office, he looks like a 150-pound round rat, but he is a football player, and he's had a big sequence here in the last 6 or 7 minutes.
Yeah, you can't teach hard.
3rd and 12. Noah Vitsa, the deep ball over the head of Bobby Lewis, incomplete. Some arm strength there from Noah Vitsa throwing across his body on the run, but Lewis, even with a step on double coverage, couldn't make that play.
Yeah, you see Noah Vitsa, he has a rocket of an arm, but he has to put a little touch on it, put a little air under the football, let his receiver run under it. Overshot him that time.
See the Mustangs looking towards their sidelines. Ronald Patton, the coach for Lamar, wants to dial up something on 4th and 12. Probably no sense punting here, but not an easy sequence. 4th and 12. Noah Vitsa rolling, being chased, and he just can't stay in bounds. The boundary cost him. He'll be marked out inside the 30 at the 29, well shy, and Lamarque will hold on 4th down and get the football back.
Looked like he tried to quick kick this one, but the fullback got in his way. So Noah Vitsa smartly keeps it and just picks up as much as he can before he's forced out of bounds.
So Ladarian Ellis-Jones back on the field to operate this offense for the Lamar Cougars. Jones will fire for Hardiman. Catch is made. Nice gain on first down. Forward progress, I believe, is to about the 37.
Yeah, I think he'll be just short of a first down, but a nice gain there on first.
Boy, Hardiman's such a weapon. You see number 15 in the middle of your screen. With that size, if you can put the ball on target, maybe elevate a bit, he ought to be able to tower over most of those defensive backs that'll guard him.
Yeah, he's a big kid, and they're looking for big-time results out of him.
Quarterback keeper on 2nd and 2.
Oh, what a big hit.
Eugene
Wow.
King was there. Jack Lopez, a linebacker, come out of that stop for the Mustangs defense, and he'll be shy of the first down.
Yeah, big stick by King.
Did he get it? Did he get it by half a yard? Looks like that's the case.
Yeah, looks like they're going to move the chains.
Forward progress enough when it looked like Ellis Jones was a little bit shy. They'll give him the first down. As we go inside 7 minutes to go here in our second quarter, Lamarque trailing by a point, but they had the football, trying to get up near midfield. A quick hitter on the ground from Delon Richard. Junior running back with a couple of yards. A lot of coaching going on the Lamarque sideline. Meanwhile, over on the Lamar Consolidated sideline, their team is up by a point in this game.
27 points given up by this Consolidated defense last week in a 41-27 win over Clements. Uh-oh.
Football was bobbled, and then Ellis Jones just had to fall on it, trying to pick up the ball between his legs, and he was still trying to make a play, maybe hand off to Jaquan Jones, but finally had to eat it.
Yeah, you have to put that one on the quarterback this time. It's going to hit him right in the hands. Watch it here. And he just drops it to the turf.
So it'll be 3rd and 11. Hardiman, the receiver, lined up to the left. On a passing down for Ellis Jones. And Lamarque will use its 3rd and final timeout here in the first half. Some confusion, and Coach Jackson wanted to talk things over facing this 3rd and 11.
And we look at some of the stats here. Penalties, 8 on Lamarque, 7 so far on Lamar Consolidated.
Back after this from Reliance Stadium.
McDonald's Dollar Menu just keeps getting better. Introducing the all-new mouth-watering grilled onion cheddar burger, topped with melty white cheddar and caramelized onions. Plus all your tasty favorites for just $1 each. Every day, as always, there's a lot to love for a little on McDonald's Dollar Menu.
Lamar Consolidated leads by a point. "36 more total yards for the Mustangs to this point. Each team 8 first downs. But Lamarque facing an important 3rd and 11. They burn their 3rd and final timeout to talk things over. Ladarian Ellis Jones will roll, and his pass was knocked away. Intended on the sidelines for Quincy James. Good defensive play was made by Caleb Granger.
Granger only goes 5'7", a $145. Watch him come up to knock this football away. At the last moment, great defensive play in the secondary.
Granger was picked on a few times tonight by Hardiman. You see the coaching staff able to congratulate Granger after a nice play that'll force Lamarque to punt. Cole doesn't get a normal drop. He's probably 7-8 yards behind center. Doesn't waste much time once he gets that football. Drops and kicks. And this one's going to bounce for a long time.
Ooh, great roll.
Lamarque bounce inside the 10, right around the 9-yard line. So Randall doesn't play very deep, and he got burned that time as the ball sailed over his head and kept right on bouncing.
Yeah, 43 yards on the kick and roll. 0 on the return, so a couple of nice punts. Lamar Consolidated now backed up inside their own 10-yard line. 5:19 to go here, first half. They lead it 7-6. The difference in the ball game, a missed extra point, actually 2-point conversion from about 30 yards out after several penalties on Lamar after their lone score of the ball game.
Mustangs were driving for a second touchdown when they fumbled inside the 5. Now they're backed up inside their own 10. And Darius Turner, who coughed up the football, given a second chance and carries out across the 10 to about the 12. In 3 games, this Lamar Consolidated offense had scored 84 points. Lower scoring output today. Turner will rumble across the 20 and should have the first down.
Turner on the season, a pair of touchdowns, 45 yards, his longest run so far this season. You see Lamar Consolidated. They're bringing the linebackers up now. Wouldn't be surprised to see them start putting about 7 or 8 in the box to try to slow down this Lamar Consolidated running game.
Anthony Wright, a linebacker, lost his hat. So he took off to the sideline. Football marked right at the 20. First down for Lamar Consolidated. Nothing fancy on this drive for the Mustangs. Picking up a few yards. Noah Vitsa, the quarterback.
Yeah, Lamar brought a blitz from the near side. Lamar Consolidated went the opposite direction. Nice game by Noah Vitsa on first down, 2nd and 4.
Clock nearing the 4-minute mark here in our second quarter. Renewed defensive effort by Lamarck on this drive after some broken tackles earlier. That time Philip Ross just had nowhere to go, and he had all kinds of blue and gold uniforms in his grill.
Yeah, good penetration. You see Kenneth Williams right there, did not get the stop, but able to slow up the tailback enough for his friends to get there to clean up the mess.
Senior Justin Britton, a defensive end, one of those involved, so it's 3rd and 3.
Whoa.
And Noah Vitsa got helicoptered down at the 35. You'll get the first down, but pay the price.
Flying through the air with the greatest of ease. Just again, that little zone read. Had a good lead block there, big number 79. Traylon Whitaker led the way for that first down scamper. There's going to be offsides. The referees did not. What?
Lamar Consolidated thought the play was blown dead. Noah Vitsa had to pick it up. He was all of a sudden being chased. Kenneth Edwards was in pursuit. There's a marker down, of course.
You have to stop the play there. You put the quarterback at danger if you're the officials.
Watch the confusion here in our replay.
Yeah, they don't call it a dead ball, but it should have been a dead ball foul. Everybody stops. And Noah Vitsa has to run for his life.
Noah Vitsa thought, I'm not going to get smashed here on what should be a dead ball play. I'm just going to take it and run.
He got smashed.
He did. 1st and 5 after that penalty. Philip Ross is the man lined up behind Noah Vitsa. In the pistol formation, 2 receivers to the left. Ross will carry, running right. He got hammered down after he picked up a couple of yards. One of those involved in the tackle for Lamarck was Murphy Smith, the defensive back, the senior.
This is one of those drives, if you're Lamar Consolidated, you want to eat up the rest of the first half clock and hopefully put some points on the board going into halftime.
2nd and 1. See if maybe Lamar Consolidated tries for a big play. Tries to hit the home run here on 2nd and short. Even though the clock beginning to run out, they'll just go for the running play instead. They'll get the first down. The clock is stopped after a short gain, maybe a 2-yard run from Philip Ross, but he only needed 1.
And again, this is a team that we mentioned. They like to keep it on the ground. Over 270 yards per game on the turf.
Boy, last week alone, Kim, they ran for 368 yards. I mean, that's an impressive performance.
Yeah, 529 yards of total offense against Clements.
We're nearing the 2-minute mark. Lamar Consolidated has the football, leading by a point. Noah Vitsa being chased and just threw that one out of bounds. It was Tyree Mason, number 7, who was in pursuit of Noah Vitsa.
Now, 2 timeouts still remain for the Mustangs as they face the 2nd and 10. Noah Vitsa here. A little play action, but again, under tremendous heat. Just lucky to get it away.
Trying to throw across his body, get that ball back to the line of scrimmage, get it out of bounds. He did stop the clock, but it'll be 2nd and 10. Still shy of midfield, so this has been a time-consuming drive, and the Mustangs haven't reached midfield, and that ball was nearly picked. That one was up for grabs. William Tinner, the defensive tackle, almost had a pick, and that could have been a pick 6 had he caught it cleanly.
I mean, that was well played on both sides as the screen was set up perfectly. If Noah Vitsa could have gotten the ball just a little higher over the defender's arm, watch it set up perfectly there for the tailback. Nothing but blockers in front. It nearly went the other way for 6.
Yeah, a lot of running room was available.
Both ways.
Very true. And now if Lamar could make a play here on 3rd and 10, they're going to get the football back with a lot of time. So Noah Vitsa, pocket beginning to crumble. He's being chased. And that ball just tossed away as Justin Britton one more time running after the quarterback. So Lamar Consolidated is going to have to punt, even though there is another marker, I believe, down. Already the Mustangs bringing their special teams unit on the field.
Was this a late hit on the quarterback?
It's like the penalty's being marked off.
Line of scrimmage was the 45. Football has to get back to at least that point. Let's watch it here. As Noah Vitsa again under pressure, scrambles to his right. He'll do the smart thing and throw it away. Officials determined that it did not get back to the line of scrimmage.
He hit the water bucket, though. And it didn't knock it over. So here's the punt. Maybe a chance for a return. Football was bobbled. And then this one's going backwards. Reggie Franklin, maybe hoping to make a play, never caught it cleanly. So Lamarck will have the football back after all that, but the field position is their own 33 with a little more than a minute and a half remaining in our first half here from Reliant Stadium in Houston.
And no timeouts for the Cougars to work with, so
great point.
They'll have to do it without the benefit of a clock stoppage.
How daring would you be here offensively knowing that neither team has been able to generate any momentum for a number of reasons?
Well, if you got big number 15 on your side, I'd keep throwing it up to him. But I try to get some of these other receivers involved as well. Maybe a little screen pass, a little bubble pass to see if you can spring a big play.
Hardiman is lined up to the slot to the left of Ladarian Ellis-Jones. Targeting Hardiman. You know, he'll have the ball in his hands, but it was dislodged after a hard hit. Yeah. Tremendous job in the secondary by Servell Ford, who already this year has made several big plays.
Yeah, he was being targeted on both ends by Ellis-Jones on the pass play and by the defender on the reception. Ford coming up to make the big hit.
Well, Ken, the Mustangs have 2 timeouts. Should the Lamar Cougars not get positive yards here, there might be a chance to call a timeout and get the football back for themselves.
Yeah, absolutely.
Running play set up for Richard. Big gainer for Richard. He'll have the first down. He's shy of midfield, but the clock will stop with a $1:28 as the sticks are moved. A nice run from Delon Richard.
Yeah, one of the better offensive plays of the night for the Lamar Cougars as they get it out to midfield.
See if they can build on that. Ellis-Jones rolling, completing his pass. Another first down pickup. It looks like it was Reggie Franklin. No, I beg your pardon. That was Quincy James.
Well, we've seen Jones be accurate on the move as they go to the hurry-up offense. You'll see him drill this one between 4 defenders. Excellent throw.
Take it back. That was 33. That was Reggie Franklin who made the play. We're nearing 1 minute to go now in our first half. Our short pickup. It'll be second at about 5 yards, and the football marked at the Lamar Consolidated 32. Pass complete again. So for the second time in this sequence, it was dropped off to Reggie Franklin, the senior, no more for maybe being a safety, a defensive back, being targeted here on offense.
And now you see the Cougars getting some rhythm to their offense. You see Lamar Consolidated trying to substitute a couple of defenders as they're starting to get winded on this drive.
Much better second quarter for Lamar. Trying to cap it off with a score here late in the half. Fade towards the end zone. That one was up for grabs. Just in and out of the hands of Demetrius James.
That was a great play that time by James. Even though he didn't come up with the reception, he got just enough on it to keep the defender from picking it off. A tough call that time having Ellis Jones roll to his left, being a right-handed quarterback. Tough throw across the body. We've seen him have great success rolling here to the near side to his right. Those passes have been on point.
2nd and 10 with 29 seconds to go in the half. Ellis Jones will go under center. He's going to try it for James again in the end zone. Incomplete.
Oh. Wow.
Looked like maybe a chance for a touchdown. Have to see this one again.
Yeah, it looked like a perfect pass from Ellis Jones. You see the play fake, holds the lineman. Excellent time in the pocket. Let's take a look in the end zone. A little underthrown, but it hit the receiver right in the breadbasket. He's got to come up with that one.
Bryce Malone wasn't exactly turning to face that football either, but he was right there on coverage. 3rd and 10 from the 20. Ellis Jones, well, if it doesn't succeed the first or second time, try again. Flag is down, it won't matter. Touchdown, Mike Hardiman, and Lamarque has taken the lead. Third time may have been a charm for the Cougars offense, and unless this was offensive interference, this will be a score and 6 for the Cougars. And the touchdown will stand. Ladarian Ellis Jones came in with 3 touchdown passes this year and 6 INTs, but he gets one back here, a scoring strike. The coverage once again was employed by Bryce Malone. He got away with maybe a bump on the previous play. That time he was all over Hardiman, but Hardiman holds it in.
Well, as you mentioned, they've gone to Hardiman time and time again, and they finally got it to go through. Now, only 10 seconds left on the play clock. Now the referees will stop action here.
Lamarque will go for 2. Their last 2-point conversion came from about the 30-yard line after a series of penalties that negated the extra point. Ellis Jones rolling right, throwing into the end zone. Wide open is Hardiman again. How does he get that wide open? He caught the touchdown in traffic. The 2-point conversion, that's a layup. And it's now 14-7 Cougars.
Well, after looking very discombobulated for much of the first half, the Lamar Cougars put it together on that final drive before halftime as they go 67 yards, the 20-yard touchdown strike, and then the 2-point conversion. And you ask how he got so wide open. Let's watch him here in the slot at the bottom of the screen. Just a simple flag route. No one picks him up. Touchdown.
Back for the final few seconds in a moment.
I think I have the window seat.
You better double check that, my friend. Don't think we don't know who you are.
Yeah, I'm Aaron Rodgers.
No, that's not it. You're that State Farm discount double check guy. Discount
double check.
Thanks to the hundreds you saved us, we could upgrade the grill class.
Grill class?
Your tongs are in your seat back.
Save with the discount double check today. Get to a better state. State Farm.
It was a sluggish first quarter, to say the least. Lamar saved its best football for the final minute and a half. Go down the field, they scored the touchdown, they get the 2-point conversion. They lead by 7.
Yeah, absolutely. And statistically, so far here in the first half, both teams even in total yards, 158 apiece. 1 first down separates them, 12 for Lamar, 11 for Lamar Consolidated. But the score on the board, 14-7 Cougars, 16 seconds to go before the halftime break.
Kick was knocked off one of the up men. And it was jumped on by Ford. Just happy to cover and not try and pick up and return that one.
And still 2 timeouts remain for Lamar Consolidated with good field position. I would expect them to be aggressive.
I would expect them not to be aggressive, so we'll find out. I think this is where you take a knee and you regroup, but we'll find out.
We'll put a Coke on it for halftime.
It'll take a half an hour to walk and find one, if so.
Oh, goodness.
I think they're taking a knee.
Yeah, I think you're
go.
right.
You better start walking to make it back by the third quarter.
Go get my 50 cents.
That'll be the final play of a busy first half, marred by penalties. Just when the team started to get some momentum at the end, it was Lamar scoring the go-ahead score, adding the 2-point conversion. So at the half, Lamar 14, Lamar Consolidated 7 from Reliance Stadium in Houston.
If you're looking for the best selection of crawfish on this side of Louisiana, the Louisiana Crawfish Hut is the place to go. Our seafood selection will make you go home completely satisfied with our dishes, such as our oyster louie and hut platter, not to mention desserts that will cure your sweet tooth craving. The Louisiana Crawfish Hut offers any type of atmosphere you're looking for, whether day or night, 7 days a week with the best service you will find around. Come in and watch your favorite team on any of our 16 TVs. The Louisiana Crawfish Hut, located off Highway 90 in Crosby, offering the best that Louisiana has to offer here in Texas.
Brett Dolan and Ken Moore back inside Reliance Stadium. 14-7, Lamar leads at the half. And Ken, that was the first quarter neither team will want to say for posterity, but it really felt like Lamar was able to put things together late in that second quarter. Their defense first and then their offense to take the lead.
Yeah, absolutely, especially once they went to that no huddle in the final 2 minutes of the half. They got Ellis Jones going in the pocket. He was able to do some things out of the pocket, scrambling particularly to his right. We saw him with some nice completions, finally able to get that touchdown pass at the end of the half to give them the 14-7 lead at the break.
Lamar Consolidated had the short field. Their first drive went down and scored with ease. Since then, nothing. So the Lamar defense has done a pretty good job on them. What do the Mustangs need to do now in the second half to get back on track offensively?
I think they really need to concentrate on the running game. They've had some success running up the middle. They tried to go to the passing game, not so much success there. I think if they stick it to the ground, stay patient, they may be able to wear down this Lamar defense.
If nothing else, let's hope the penalties are gone. That was the first quarter where we had flags almost on every single play, and it's so tough for either team offensively to get any momentum when you're dealing with that.
Yeah, absolutely. At one point, we had a count of 15 penalties up until late in that first half. So hopefully both teams get it cleaned up at halftime. I hope both coaches realize that and they relay that message on down.
Yeah, there certainly were some teaching moments for both coaches at the half. I know it's a different experience for a lot of these kids. Well, Lamar played at Reliance Stadium last year after Thanksgiving in a playoff game. it's still a big arena, the NFL stadium here, and maybe there's some jitters, maybe there's some anxiety, but each team had a lot of things to clean up, so they had an extended halftime to do that.
Yeah, absolutely, and you would expect that maybe in the first game of the season, maybe even the second. But now, third game of the season, you really don't want those mistakes. Hopefully both teams get it cleaned up here in the second
We
half.
talked about the importance of this game. Lamar, such a good football program for so many years, 1-2. They play some very good teams, but they really don't want to fall to 1-3, so that's a great incentive for them.
Yeah, especially big powerhouse, 318. They have a lot of respect around the state of Texas. Won't be a good look for them if they go into a district play 1-3.
So it's a 14-7 score at the half. Lamar with the advantage. Mustangs scored first. They added the PAT. After Lamar scored, their two-point try was no good, so for the longest time it was a 7-6 lead for Lamar Consolidated. But the Mustangs ready to take the field. They've got some momentum after scoring late in the second quarter, adding the two-point conversion, and they lead by a score of 14-7.
Yeah, you see the Cougars running out through that tunnel. And we talked about the game last season. It was a 14-14 tie at the end of the first period last year. Lamar went on a 25-zip run the rest of the way to defeat Lamar Consolidated 39-14. The Mustangs want to coach against that happening here in the second half here tonight. They will get first possession to begin the third period.
Here come the Mustangs back on the field. Bands performed at the half. What is a rainy, messy day in the Houston area. Comfortable indoors here at the home of the Texans, Reliance Stadium in Houston.
And a big football weekend here at the stadium. Texans out of town, so some high school football action in here tonight. You'll also see the Houston Cougar and Rice Owl logos on each end of the field as they will battle in the Bayou Bucket here tomorrow afternoon. So a lot of action going on here at Reliance Stadium this weekend.
Indeed, busy weekend for football. Mustangs fight song before we start this third quarter. Not a pageantry of high school football. There's the Cougar. The mascot entertaining at the half. And there are the Lamar Cougars. And last year, of course, this team 11-2. They lost to Navasota 31-20 in the regionals in the third round. That was a Navasota team that did not lose all season, so they were right there with them step for step before they fell a little bit shy in the postseason.
Yeah, Lamar Consolidated also got to the postseason as well with a 5-5 record. They lost in the first round of the playoffs. They lost big, but it was able to give them some teaching moments for their ball club, get them some more experience, an extra week of football practice, which every team welcomes and every coaching staff welcomes during the fall. And they hope to build upon that here in 2013 as they come into this ball game 2-1 on the young season.
There's the Cougars, special teams, ready to kick off the football and start this third quarter for the Cougars. This two-game losing streak, first time they've lost two in a row since 2010. Dropped a game to Texas City at Cold Spring. Here come the Cougars, ready to kick the football off to start this second half. Lamar Consolidated down 7 points. We'll get it first.
Yeah, Lamar Consolidated, they had an opportunity at a second touchdown on their second drive of the ball game, had a fumble inside the red zone that stalled that drive. And they also had a turnover on downs and then a punt and then the end of the half. So only 1 of 5 on their drives in the first half. Kind of discount that last one. It was just a simple kneel down, but they hope to get things started here to begin the third period.
It's a good point. Things went sideways after they failed to score when they were on the march trying to get their second touchdown. Haven't got there since. Football is going to continue to bounce and will finally go in the end zone. Maybe for a split second, Mikey Randall was wondering if he was going to have to take that back from the 1.
Well, kind of surprised because both of the return men were lined up at the 20-yard line. That's kind of up for your return guys to be that far up, and the ball sailed past them. But luckily for the Mustangs, it did roll into the end zone. So they'll start at 1st and 10 at the 25.
Mustangs will huddle up on the sideline before they race onto the football field. Their leader, their quarterback, Scott Nohovica, 3-year starter, very accurate passer at least this year. and a lot of rushing numbers.
And we'll look at a couple of the first half stats. Total yards, 158 for Lamar, 156 for Lamar Consolidated. First downs, 12 for Lamar, 11 for Lamar Consolidated. So very even on the stat sheet.
First carry goes to Darius Turner, and he's met and dropped. Kenneth Edwards was there almost immediately to make a big play to start this third quarter.
Well, we talked about a lot of missed tackles in that first half for Lamar. Mr. Williams said, not on this try. We aren't missing this tackle. So that may have been a message at halftime. Wrap up and put your hat between the numbers.
Well, he went in a little bit high. Darius Turner's a big running back. He got dropped. There's a good look at the playmaker on that last opportunity for the Cougar defense.
Passing yards in the first half. Cougars with 90. Lamar Consolidated only 37.
Nohavitsa, the keeper. And he just can't get outside. He ran out of room. And there to escort him out of bounds was Chason Douglas, who already this year has 4 interceptions. That time able to get credit for a tackle to make this 3rd and long.
Yeah, rushing yardage in the first half. Mustangs did well on the ground, picked up 117 yards in the first half. Cougars on the other side of the spectrum, 68 yards on the ground.
And as you see, a 14-7 Lamar lead. Cougars hoping to get the football back. 3rd and 10 for Lamar Consolidated. It's a pass play. It's complete to Bobby Lewis. Nowhere to go. And Lewis well shy of the first down.
And again, you saw another get hit on that far side. Daquan Jones, 24, making the stop. So we saw the adjustments. Lamar coming out, good, solid, strong tackling on that first drive, forces Lamar Consolidated into a 3-and-out.
Nohavitsa, the quarterback, is also the punter. He's going to kick towards Reggie Franklin. Kicked it straight in the air instead. I mean straight in the air. And this will take a bounce, get a couple of extra yards for Lamar Consolidated. The ball will bounce into Lamar territory. Great field position for the Cougars. They'll have it leading by 7, just shy of the midfield stripe.
Yeah, only 24 yards on the punt, 0 on the return. But it will set up the Cougars in great field position as they try to build upon their 14-7 lead.
Already a pretty important sequence for this Lamar Consolidated defense.
We look at some of the penalty yardage in that first half. Lamar, 9 penalties, 60 yards. Lamar Consolidated 8 penalties for 67 yards.
That's not going to work.
Oh,
how about
boy,
that?
That's not going to work.
Backward snap, either too soon or Ellis Jones wasn't expecting it, and that's a big loss on first down.
Yeah, and again, we talk about mistakes. That's one right out of the box.
Hit his wrist.
Offense.
Watch him directing traffic with his wrist. The ball hit him.
Yeah, he's looking to the left, so you have to put that one on the center. A little anxious. Markel Dupree snapping it just a tad early. Ellis Jones able to pounce on it and avoid disaster.
So 2nd and 20. They'll get a couple of yards back on the running of Delon Richard, but not much. So once the Lamarck defense got the stop and get the football back with great field position, I don't think they were hoping for a 3rd and 18 in this their first drive.
And again, we saw them do well in that 2-minute offense. They had Ellis Jones rolling out, getting outside the pocket, using the threat of run and pass to loosen up that Mustang defense. We'll see what they dial up here on 3rd and long.
Ellis Jones rolling. Lobs one for Hardiman, and that ball's going to be picked. Intercepted. I think it's Ford that got it. Servell Ford last year led the team in interceptions, and he got one here.
Well, it'll go down as a turnover, but it's just as good as a punt on 3rd and long. No harm, no foul. You'll see Ellis Jones roll to his right, avoids the defender, just throws it up for grabs. And again, you'll see the defensive play here by Ford. picks it off, but it's just as good as a punt.
Well, real good tackle by Hardiman. If Ford was able to bounce outside, he might have been able to return that for 20, 30 yards. So Hardiman able to turn and make the tackle after that ball was beyond his reach. Marque defense get a breather as the Lamar Consolidated offense back on the field. And they have been quiet since their opening drive. That touchdown drive was less than 50 yards. So Noah Vitsa with a busy backfield. Turn and will roll right with 3 blockers in front of him. And how about that? Thrown down from behind. It was Kenneth Edwards again that got the jersey. They may call this a horse collar. I'm really not sure. I don't think it was.
It was not a horse collar. I mean, a horse collar is when you put your hand inside the shoulder pad and pull the runner down. He just had his jersey and slang him to the turf. Let's see if the refs correct themselves or not.
Horse collar it is. We're going to have to see this one again, because it looked like a pretty good defensive play by Kenneth Edwards.
Yeah, watch it here. Again, Navissa, just a quarterback keeper. He just grabs the jersey.
That's not a horse collar.
No, I mean, not at all. That's a terrible call. But nevertheless, 15 free ones for the Stangs. 1st and 10.
Gives them some breathing room offensively. A fresh set of downs. Noah Vitsa made that first pursuit miss. Trying to get outside of the corner. Daquan Jones was there to hammer him down. Also involved in the stop for the mark was Murphy Smith, the senior defensive back.
Yeah, good rally to the football that time by Jones. As prevented Nowitzki from turning the corner here on the near side.
Gave him a couple of yards, but still 2nd and 7. Football right at the 40-yard line.
Each team with 1 turnover apiece.
We've not seen the Mustangs go to the air much, and Noah Vitsa will keep it. Trying to pick a hole up across the 45. And he is going to be maybe a yard shy of the first down, 3rd and short.
And again, they're having success on the ground. We'll see if they'll continue to be patient. 3rd and short here.
Murphy Smith made that tackle to force what will be called a 3rd and 1. Even on 3rd and short, Noah Vitsa will work from the gun. Hard count trying to get this Cougars defense that has been penetrating here in the last couple of sequences or drives to jump. Noah Vitsa, great zone read. Just when it looked like Granger was going to get smashed, he pulled that ball back, able to dart forward at the sticks, maybe just beyond. We'll see what the spot is. I've been impressed, Ken, a couple of times I know Vitsa and how he's been able to wait until the last possible second to either keep that football or put it in the gut of his running back.
Yeah, he's had a good season on the ground, averaging over 7.5 yards a carry, and show you that he's an excellent read option quarterback.
There's just a lot of quarterbacks that can't handle that. They can't make that right decision on when to keep and when to hand the football off.
As you mentioned, he's a 3-year starter, so he's had a lot of practice in this run-heavy attack.
Throw comes to the near sidelines to Mikey Randall. Randall races into the Marque territory. He had 4 catches last week against Clements. He had 7 in a game against Elsick this year. He got 5 yards on that play.
Yeah, senior receiver, 100 yards receiving on the young season, averaging 9 yards a catch.
2nd and 5 from the 48. Mustangs down 7 points, trying to take advantage of that 15-yard personal foul, horse collar penalty that got them out of jail, so to speak. Another short pass. It's Randall again. He breaks the 1st and 2nd tackle. Dropped after Chason Douglas finally rode him down inside the 45-yard line. Again, he's right at that marker. See where they give the forward progress.
Yeah, you see the play design there. You have both tailbacks going to the left. You try to give your receiver some operating room as you throw the quick pass to the right. But good rally again on defense by the Cougar D, but not before he picks up the 1st down.
So a fresh set of downs for the Mustangs. Nearing the 7-minute mark here in our 3rd quarter, and that's one of the few flags we've had here in the second half after nothing but in the first. Sideline infraction? You said we had seen everything in the first half. You were lying to me. We didn't have a sideline infraction.
Oh, my goodness. I'm just waiting for somebody to run off the bench and tackle someone. Oh, my goodness. Wow.
So 1st and 15 for Lamar Consolidated. The Texans game last Sunday, they had an illegal touching on the punt. That was a new one for me. Well, seen a little bit of everything here. Trying to string this running play out, looking for some positive yards, but nothing to be had for Caleb Granger. We've seen him a lot defensively as a D-back, now getting a chance to carry the football. He began the day with 5 carries this season. He's had a couple tonight. Just nothing there, and it's 2nd and 16.
Yeah, Granger averaging about 8 yards a carry. And he's one of that trio of running backs for Lamar Consolidated as they spread the wealth around here in 2013.
Justin Britton, one of those for the Cougars involved in the stop. Loss of 1 on the play. So 2nd and 16. And Lamar Consolidated has some confusion, and they will call a timeout. Not afraid to burn one with 6:15 to play in our third quarter.
As the penalty yardage continues to creep up for both teams. 147 yards in combined penalties here in the third period. We'll take a break. 14-7, Cougars on top.
I think I have the window seat.
You better double check that, my friend. Don't think we don't know who you are.
Yeah, I'm Aaron Rodgers.
No, that's not it. You're that State Farm discount double check guy. Discount
double check.
Thanks to the hundreds you saved us, we could upgrade the grill class.
Grill class?
Your tongs are in your seat back.
Save with the discount double check today. Get to a better state. State Farm.
Beautiful Reliance Stadium is our site tonight. It's not been a beautiful game, but it's been competitive. Lamar leading by 7. Mustangs on the move, but facing a 2nd and 16 after the timeout. Noah Vitsa well behind the line of scrimmage, being chased by Britton and ridden down for a sack and a huge loss of almost 17 yards.
Wow, well, we saw the rains come down here in the Houston area today. The offensive line of Lamar Consolidated came down on that play as a jailbreak for the Cougars and a big loss for the Mustangs all the way back to their own 33.
Ride 'em Cowboy or ride 'em Cougar there for Justin Britton. Coming into this game through 3 games, the Cougar defense had 13 sacks. That's a big number. They got one there, forcing a 3rd and 34. Deep ball. And that was nearly where it could be caught. Philip Ross was trying to get loose down the sidelines. The ball dropped. Randall was also there. It's 4th down.
And to put this in perspective, they're at their own 33. They need to get to the Lamar 33 for a first down.
We'll see it again here. 2 receivers and 3 or 4 defensive backs in the same region. You can see the confusion at the end of that replay. So Noah Vitsa will punt. Able to get this one off, and this is a much better kick. Reggie Franklin won't even bother to return. It'll take a Lamar bounce of 7 or 8 yards before it's touched at about the 42, and that's where it's down. So good field position again for Lamar with 5:15 to go in our third quarter.
Yeah, and again, only a 24-yard punt. 0 on the return, and Lamar nursing a 14-7 lead will have good field position once again.
Mustangs defense ready to come on the field. We've seen Eugene King make a couple of big plays tonight. Meanwhile, might have a new change here. Looks like Delon Richard. He was lined up kind of a wildcat quarterback, but here comes Ladarian Ellis-Jones sprinting on at the last second, checking that wristband for a play.
Still have 10 on the play clock.
Trips to the left. Jones trying to showcase his footwork. He is dropped. Jack Lopez, the linebacker, with a strong open field tackle. He eliminated that play from the beginning.
Yeah, the quarterback keeper has not been successful for the Cougars here tonight.
Really either team for that matter. Both quarterbacks came in with good rushing numbers, maybe hoping for a little more passing-wise, and running the football, it's not been there. Starting to get some scouting reports after a few games. Pass to Hardiman over the middle. Well thrown ball. Hardiman just sat down at about the 45, picks up the first down by a couple of yards, and moves the sticks for the Cougars.
Yeah, just a little play action, as you mentioned, a beautiful pass across the middle. You see it here, just a little play fake, 3-step drop. Nice soft throw across the middle. Receiver goes up, makes a nice grab, first down.
Randall and Lopez, among others, there defensively, but a fresh set of downs for the Lamar Cougars. So Ladarian Ellis-Jones, you can see him slowly starting to make some better throws, run this offense efficiently, see if they can finish off this drive. He'll keep it himself. Pretty good decision to dart to his right to get a couple of yards instead of maybe tackled at the line of scrimmage, but again, not much there.
And again, in this ball game last season, Ellis-Jones was the starting tailback, rushed for over 100 yards in that ball game against Lamar Consolidated.
Coach Mike Jackson called 2 losses in a row unacceptable. He said, I'd play anywhere. I'd play in a parking lot if it meant getting a win. He's got much better digs and accommodations tonight, but his team trying to go up 2 scores if they can punch this one in. And the pass was completed to Franklin. Now, he's seen him play defensive back safety. Made that catch inside the 35.
And again, a nice touch pass over the top by Ellis-Jones. And another first down as the Cougars again on the move. Oh,
botch play. The handoff somehow got into the breadbasket of Richard, and maybe lucky that Ellis-Jones was able to give it to him. That almost looked like that could have been a couple of fumbles in quick succession.
Yeah, it was a low snap. Watch it here. Real low snap, messed up the timing of the play and nearly a missed handoff. So Lamar Consolidated put 5 men at the line of scrimmage that time, as now they try to shut down this running game and try to put a little bit more pressure on Ellis-Jones.
Patrick Middleton credited with that tackle for a loss, a 4-yard loss on the play. So 2nd and 14, Ellis-Jones scrambling, throwing, low pass, and it was caught. Franklin again starting to get involved offensively. Reggie Franklin, not fully healthy last week. They really wanted to maybe not play him. Felt like he needed to be on the field. He's been on the field a lot tonight both ways.
Yeah, good 11-yard pass play. Now it sets up 3rd and short. They're in 2-down territory.
3rd, we'll call it 3.
Changing the play.
Wonder if Ellis-Jones will keep it again. He will, and able to jump forward. He went into the defensive end. Chris Williams kind of challenged a guy almost twice his size, but able to lean forward and move the sticks.
Just kind of slithers his way through the line, pick up the first down. So another good drive here by Lamar. Started at their own 42 after the short punt. They've matriculated down to the 23-yard line, and the clock goes under 2 minutes here in the 3rd.
Yeah, burning some clock. Time-consuming drive. Cougars on the march. Remember, they were down 7-0 early, now up 14-7. Taking too much time to get that play off, and there will be a timeout to the Cougars. They used all 3 of their timeouts in the first half. Want to talk things over here with $1:56 to go before the 4th.
So now this Lamar Consolidated defense trying to figure out a way to stop this Lamar offense. Both teams trying to Gatorade up on the sidelines.
They're the Mustangs. They returned 14 starters from that playoff team, Ken, you spoke of last year.
They had a good run. Big win here at Reliant doing that playoff run. And they lost the following week.
You see Lamar with their rich history, but this year in 3A, they're expanding from 3 teams per district to 4 that'll go to the postseason. The large schools will be in one division, the smaller schools in another, so it's a possibility Lamar and Navasota get back there. They wouldn't even be in the same division. Of course, they met in the 3rd round last year. Ellis Jones in space, not going anywhere. Wrapped up by Derek Ibekwe, the linebacker who just was not going to let Ladarian Ellis Jones get by him.
Yeah, that's a good one-on-one tackle in space to bring down Ellis Jones. So now we're looking at a 2nd and long as the Cougars try to get their correct personnel package into the ball game.
Ken, do you look for that fade, that jump ball towards the end zone again for a guy like Hardeman?
You could. I like that rollout to the right. It's been really successful as well.
Under center, I formation. And the give is to Val Allen, diving through the line. I see where they finally spot him down. He kind of skidded after he was marked at the 16. It'll be 3rd and about 3 or 4 yards to go.
But again, you're in another good, manageable situation in 3rd and short. And they quick snap it.
Awfully far to go on 3rd and 3 to try and push forward. And I don't believe Ellis Jones got anything. So it'll be 4th down. And what do you do here, Coach Ken?
I think we're going to be a little bit out of field goal range compared to what we saw in that extra point earlier. So you're in 4-down territory. You've been moving the ball well offensively. I think you go ahead and go for it. They will have to snap it. There's about a 2-second difference between the play clock and the game clock. So they're going to have to get a play off here before the end of the quarter. As they come to the line, 8 seconds, now 7 on the play clock.
So instead of a 32-yard field goal, Lamar will go for it on 4th and 2, and they're going backwards.
And again, that was another bad snap that really discombobulated the rhythm of that play. I think it's Marque Dupree, the center, and he's had a lot of low snaps here in this 2nd half. Watch it again as Ellis Jones has to go down nearly to his knees to pick the football up. Disrupts the timing. Turnover on downs. Lamar Consolidated.
Saw Derek Ibekwe flying in after him. So now it's the Mustangs' turn to come out on the field offensively. Just 2 seconds to go in the quarter. Lamarck leading by 7. We've not had points here in our 3rd. One final play. A running effort from Darius Turner going nowhere. And that'll bring us to the conclusion of our 3rd quarter. Same score as we had at the half. Cougars 14, Mustangs 7.
Emergency Center, we don't just save lives, we save
mothers, sons,
Best friends. Little ones.
running partners,
wives.
Daddy!
At Neighbors Emergency Center, you're not just a patient, you're a top priority. Neighbors Emergency Center. Care that counts. Experience that matters.
McDonald's Dollar Menu just keeps getting better. Introducing the all-new mouth-watering grilled onion cheddar burger, topped with melty white cheddar and caramelized onions. Plus all your tasty favorites for just $1 each. Every day, as always, there's a lot to love for a little on McDonald's Dollar Menu.
Back here at Reliance Stadium, 14-7, Cougars on top of the Mustangs. As we take a look at some of the 3rd quarter statistics, penalty yards have been huge in this ball game. 10 penalties for Lamar, 75 yards, 9 penalties for Consolidated for 72. Each team has 1 turnover.
Well, the reverse of the football's loose. Randall able to get it back, but he is going backwards. Lucky to get back to the 10, but it'll be a huge loss. That play just took too long to develop, Ken.
Yeah, it was really a long developing play. As we look at it coming up here in just a moment.
Ross got it first. trying to get Mikey Randall involved.
Yeah, and I think he was going to try to throw it downfield. He had a receiver open, just took his eyes off the football.
3rd and 19.
Wow.
Lamar hoping for another stop. They'll get great field position if they can stop Lamar Consolidated here.
Total yards so far, 199 for Lamar Consolidated with 151.
Noah Vitsa from his goal line. He's going to go up top in a double coverage.
Oh.
And there's the flag. The pass was intended for Bobby Lewis, and he was hemmed in with a Mustang or with a Cougar in front of him and behind him, but maybe some contact that drew the penalty marker.
Now, from my vantage point, and of course, you know, we're a few hundred feet away up here on the 3rd level of Reliant. That looked like excellent double coverage. But we'll take a look at it here on the screen. Excellent protection. As you remember, double coverage, both defenders looking back. That's just
not
excellent
a penalty.
coverage.
That's not a penalty.
That's excellent. That's excellent coverage.
It's almost 3 guys arriving at the same point at the same time.
And that's 2 tough breaks against this Lamar defense here in this half. The horse collar tackle in the 3rd quarter, beginning stages, gave the Mustangs a free 15 yards. And this is another free 15 yards for Lamar Consolidated.
So a 3rd and long from almost their goal line turns into a 1st down with the football now at the 25. So the field position still not good for Lamar Consolidated, but they have the football back on 1st down, and they keep Lamar from maybe having a chance to add to this 7-point lead. Waiting for Darius Turner to get maybe a big gainer. He runs into the line for a couple of yards. You see him get up there and hand the football back to our official. Last week, Turner had a 45-yard touchdown run. He will come off with a substitution that brings Philip Ross back into the game. In the pistol formation for Consolidated. 2nd and 8. Noah Vitsa, the keeper, again. What'll be a gain of a couple of yards. Turns out to be a good read, because otherwise that was going to be a tackle for a loss and a negative play.
Again, they're trying to be patient. Is Lamar Consolidated trying to stick with the ground game. Trying to wear down this Cougar defense.
3rd and 4. Noah Vitsa will keep it. He's chopped down shy of the marker. Good pursuit again by the Lamar defense. I think Val Allen was there, and Allen was a man last year. Can he get 148 tackles? Unequivocally the defensive leader, the heart and soul of this defense. Made a big play there to bring up 4th down.
Yeah, and in the game last year, Noah Vitsa, 12 carries, 116 yards, had a touchdown. But he hasn't had a lot of success on the ground here this evening.
Mustangs going for it on 4th and 2.
They got it.
And they'll pick up the 1st down.
Gutsy call.
Granger, who we've seen him carry the football a couple of times today, one of those smaller ball carriers, you almost lose him. It's hard to identify him when he goes into that line.
Coach Ron Patton rolling the dice on 4th down, and he picks it up with one of his smallest tailbacks.
Give Coach Patton credit for that call. So the Mustangs stay in the field. A couple of times it looked like Lamar was going to get the football back. Both times the Mustangs get a fresh set of downs, but nothing there by the QB and a keeper on 1st down.
Yeah, this Cougar defense really teeing off on Noah Vitsa right now.
2nd and 11. They'll call that a loss of 1 on the play. We're inside 9 minutes to go. Lamar Consolidated, after their first drive, led 7-0. They have not scored since. 14 unanswered for the Cougars. Noah Vitsa back with time. Looking for Lewis down the sidelines, and that ball could have been picked. Chason Douglas, who has 4 interceptions this year, had he continued to run, may have been able to make an over-the-shoulder catch for number 5.
Yeah, and again, excellent coverage in the secondary, and again, another flag down. It's going to be a chop block once again against Lamar Consolidated.
Well, Ken, if you decline it, it's 3rd and 11. I mean, you can really back them up, but they'd still be 2nd down.
Yeah, I would go ahead and take the penalty, back them up.
I've seen too many bizarre things happen on third down. Get them off the field.
It's going to be 2nd and 26, back at the 20.
2nd and 26.
We'll see what Lamar does in the secondary. They're in a nickel coverage right now. 4 down linemen, 2 linebackers, 5 defensive backs.
You'll notice no wide receivers to the left, everybody to the right, setting up that jailbreak screen. And talk about a negative play. There's another one as Philip Ross eliminated after the catch and paid the price with a big hit.
The screen has not been successful tonight for Lamar Consolidated. Nearly picked off in the first half. You saw Navicka get that one a little bit higher over the defender's arms, but it didn't give his tailback much room to work with. So now you're looking at a 3rd and 31.
How many big tackles has Justin Britton, number 44, made tonight?
Yeah, he's been a monster.
Timeout, clock stopped with 8:10 to play in our 4th quarter. Back to Reliant after this.
Time waits for no one. And those who look only to the past are rarely ready for their future. Never underestimate our ability, because after all, we are Texans.
Brian Cushing scares me in that commercial. He's looking for blood. He wants to knock somebody down in the weight room and make a tackle, much as this Lamar defense has done here in recent opportunities. Third and 31. What do you have in the playbook for this situation?
Just don't turn it over. You can't afford a mistake this deep in your own territory. If you can pick up 10, 15 yards, get yourself out of the shadow of your own goalpost, that would be a success.
Trips to the left. Noah Vitsa hit as he throws. That should be a fumble. The officials are going to say incomplete. That was dangerously close to being hit with that ball popping in the air before the arm came forward.
Yeah, it was pretty close. They say it was a forward pass. We'll take a look at it. I think his arm was going forward just before it released. We'll take a look at it here as he gets the pressure from his blind side, hit just as he releases it. So luckily for the Mustangs, it falls incomplete, but it will be a 4th and forever.
Yes, it will. So the Mustangs do not turn it over, but they'll have to give the football back. Reggie Franklin's really not shown any interest in returning kicks, but he might have an opportunity. Real high kick. He's just going to get out of the way, and this ball takes another big bounce. For the life of me, I don't understand why punt returners can't catch a football and let it bounce time and time again, running off 10, 15 yards when all they have to do is catch it.
Yeah, 46 yards on the kick and roll once again. And I'm not sure if he's losing it in the lights, really not comfortable with his surroundings here in the big stadium. But nevertheless, his Cougar team will take over 1st and 10 at their own 39, protecting a 7-point lead.
What they've been able to do a couple of times tonight, speaking of the Lamar offense against this Lamar Consolidated defense, is chew up that clock in. And with 7:49 to go, you know they'd love to do the same thing right here.
Yeah, this is where you want to go into your 4-minute attack, take some time off the clock, hopefully end the drive with some points.
Just as I say that, they go to the air. Pass intended for Franklin is offline and incomplete. All right. So much for that. I think that pass wasn't even intended for Franklin. It looked like it was headed in the direction of Quincy James. Regardless, it's 2nd and 10. The clock has stopped. 4 receivers, no tight end for Lamarque. Ellis Jones making men miss, but wasn't able to make Servell Ford lose him. Very little gain, if any. It'll be 3rd and long.
Correct. Now you're in a situation that you don't want to be in with Lamarque in a 3rd and long. And again, that quarterback keeper not successful here tonight for Ellis Jones. But now you're in a 3rd and long situation where you're almost forced to throw the football.
Ellis Jones rolling. May try and run for the first down. He's not going to get there.
And I didn't like that play design simply because you're rolling to his weakness. You have him rolling to his left where he's not as accurate as rolling to his right. Neither is he as effective as a runner.
So as I speak of this ball control offense for Lamar, they'll go 3 and out with very little time coming off the clock. They'll have to punt it back.
It took up all of 40 seconds on that drive.
Mikey Randall's made some big plays on special teams this year. But he's only about 25 yards behind the line of scrimmage. And the kick from Cole will bounce inside the 30 and take a bounce that'll see the ball touched at the 20.
36 yards on the punt, 0 on the return, 6:59 to go. Lamar Consolidated trying to find a way to put together what would be an 80-yard drive to try and tie this ball game up. Not many more opportunities for the guys here on the near sideline.
And the Mustangs have to realize that. They had the football now. They could get the ball back one more time, but who knows?
The Lamar defense has been very stingy here in the second half. A couple of big penalties have really been the only 2 big plays for Lamar Consolidated. Outside of that,
it's true.
They haven't had much to work with.
Scott Noavitsa back with the football, waiting to take the snap from the 15. He'll just turn and hand to Turner as he was racing through the line. Another helmet came flying off in the pile. Turner got a couple of yards, but that's it. Called a gain of 2 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 8. And we're inside, 7 minutes to go in this game. Lamar Consolidated with the football. It's Lamar leading by 7. Defenses have dominated at times today. That pass was wide of the mark.
And Lamar Consolidated averaging well over 200 yards per game on the ground this season. So far tonight, just a tad over 100.
It's Ryan Fisher. That pass was targeted in his direction, but beyond his reach. 3rd and 8. Clock stops, 6:34 to go in the game. $50 yards through the air for Lamar Consolidated in this game, and now they need at least 8 if they're to put it up and to try and get a first down. 3 receivers to the right of your screen. Noavitsa will roll in that direction. Deep ball for Randall. Double coverage and good coverage by Lamarck, including Chason Douglas, number 8, who's been involved in a lot of those long pass plays. It's 4th down for the Mustangs.
Yeah, again, and another 3 and out for Consolidated. You see Noavitsa rolling to his right. But excellent coverage once again in the secondary. No chance on that one.
Quarterback is also the punter. Adds a little insult to injury when you can't convert the 4th down and you got to stay on and boot it away. Reggie Franklin, the deep man. Lamar Consolidated is going to go for it. The 2nd time, a big 4th down deep in their own territory leads to a first down. Mikey Randall on the receiving end. And then again, if you're the quarterback who's the punter, it gives you that weapon of being able to throw the football.
Well, we watch it here as he'll just take a couple of steps, roll to his right and fire. Receiver wide open. Coach Patton rolling the dice once again. Came up with a 7 on that one.
Well, he's 2 for 2 in big 4th down calls in his own territory, where had they failed to pick up the first down, it's almost game, set, and match.
That's the first 3 downs they need to work on, because 1st, 2nd, and 3rd down have been unimpressive thus far here in the second half.
Really just nothing there, and whether it's the fact that these teams have been scouted well offensively or the execution isn't to where they would like it to be, not much has come easy. 2nd and 10. We're inside 6 minutes to go in this game. Mustangs with the ball, down 7 points. Nothing again. The pursuit has been there. Guess who? One more time, Justin Britton defensively, number 44, the senior end, active tonight.
Yeah, he's been all over the football field, big 4-4. So now we'll see what they can dial up here on 3rd and long once again.
Barely have time to celebrate a 4th down conversion, and it's 3rd and long. A couple of forward yards for Noah Vitz up to about the 40, but he's still going to be at least 4, maybe 5 yards shy of the 1st down. It'll be another 4th down, and we'll be inside 5 minutes to go.
If you go for it on, 4th and 15, 4th and 5 should be a piece of cake.
Problem is they had the element of surprise in the previous situation. Here they're just going to keep the offense on the field, and these have been the yards that have been tough to come by for the Mustangs. Each team with just 1 turnover, so that's not been the problem. Moving the football has been. Noah Vitz rolling, throwing. That ball knocked down. Chason Douglas, like he had eyes in the back of his head, knew that football was coming in his direction. Actually, that was Isaiah Hill, and just turned around at the last second, knocked it down.
I think he did have eyes in the back of his. I think the ball hit him in the back of the head. As we'll take a look at it here. Yeah, he just got that big paw up. Yeah, he got that big paw up at the last moment.
You saw the reaction from Bobby Lewis. We may have to see that one more time. Lewis at the end said, "That's coming right to me."
Yep. So turnover on downs.
So Lamarque with the football, leading by 7. They start deep in Lamar Consolidated territory. They'll try and pick up a couple of 1st downs, maybe a yard or 2 for Ladarian Ellis-Jones, the junior QB. It's 2nd down and either a short 10 or a long 9 to go. Boy, 1 1st down here, Ken, would be huge for Lamarque.
Yeah, you're in that 4-minute zone. All you need is a couple of 1st downs, and you can put a bow on this one.
Just when it looked like Rashad might have some yards off the right side of the line. Movement again, offense.
That's the last thing you want here when you're trying to run out clock. Have a penalty on 1st down, on 2nd down, excuse me. Put you into a situation where you possibly may have to throw the football. I would go back to that successful rollout to the right side. Allow Ellis-Jones to have the opportunity to run or throw. He's been very accurate going that direction.
We've had 22 penalties combined in this game.
That's a lot of hankies on the ground.
The penalty yardage for each team not that shy of maybe their total yards. 2nd and 15. Well, I spoke too soon.
23. And counting.
Boy, again, Ken, for Lamarque. Oh, you see some of the rain outdoors. I've heard some thunder, and you wonder if that was a sound effect inside Reliant Stadium. It is not. So while we're comfortable and dry inside, once you go through those windows, not so good.
Yeah, it's not the band. That's rain and lightning outside of Reliant right now, and it sounds like it's coming down pretty hard. I'm glad I'm inside.
2nd and 20. Hardiman making some tacklers go for a ride, and the ball finally spotted forward. Progress at the 41. But it's going to be 3rd and long, 3rd and about 12. And the Mustangs' efforts, of course, were to move the sticks, stay on the field, run out the clock. Well, now they're going to have to pick up a big 1st down or consider going for it.
Yeah, but the clock does continue to tick-tock, approaching 3 minutes to go in the ball game. This is a huge play for Lamar Consolidated. They have to have a stop.
They do, because you see in the bottom of your screen, Lamar Consolidated has just 1 timeout left. They do not have their full complement of 3, so they can't stop the clock but 1 time.
And I think Lamarque is going to burn their final timeout here. They will, as they're going to try to dial up a play here for 3rd and 12 to try to keep their offense on the field. So as you can see, we're inside the cozy confines of Reliant. Outside, it's raining cats and dogs. 2:45 to go in this one. Cougars trying to bring it home.
Here's a crazy idea. What if your bank actually paid you for using your debit card? Let's say 10 cents for every $10 or more debit card purchase. How amazing would that be? We call it Cashback Counts Checking from Community Bank. A free debit card that pays you to use it. Even he's smiling at that. Swipe all you can from your bank. Community Bank of Texas. Bank where you live.
Brett Dolan and Ken Moore back at Reliance Stadium in Houston. Lamar leading by 7. Trying to pick up a huge 3rd and 12 after using their last timeout. Trying to stay on the field. Ellis Jones to throw. There's Hardiman. And he should have the first down around the 26. And that was a huge step for the Cougars to sealing off this win.
Excellent play by Ellis Jones. Watch the play fake here. All the time in the world. That freezes the linebackers in front. Hardiman able to get behind the linebackers in front of the safeties. Excellent play call by Coach Jackson. 1st and 10 for the Cougs.
As Ellis Jones tries to grow and mature as a quarterback, having the benefit of a receiver like Hardiman is such a weapon.
Absolutely. You got a big target like that. You can just put it up, let him go get it. He picks up critical 1st down yardage.
Ellis Jones moves the pile another 2 or 3 yards. Keep in mind, again, Lamar Consolidated has just 1 timeout, so Lamar can just about run out the clock. But concern here, man down.
Yeah, one of the big old bodies down on the ground.
That's the QB.
Oh, is that Ellis Jones?
That's Ellis Jones. Wow. We'll see if we can notice something. He really got planted at the end.
Oh, yeah. He got a lot of weight going down on him that time. Big 53 for Lamar Consolidated. That's Kelvin Robles. He goes 5'10", but he packs a punch of 236 pounds, and he put all 236 on Ellis Jones on that tackle. Hopefully he just got the wind knocked out of him.
Yeah, he's being attended to.
I think he just probably fell on the football. Looks a little woozy as he's walking off.
Gets up and flexes his muscles for the Lamarque faithful.
So now you have to be concerned. You have a new quarterback coming in. The snap from center has been an issue in this ball game so far. The Cougars, I believe they still have 1 timeout remaining. It shows on the scoreboard that they have 1 timeout. So they could theoretically take a timeout here. But it looks like they're going to put 33 in the Wildcat.
It's Reggie Franklin. As thunder continues to rattle just outside Reliance Stadium, Lamar will try and run some clock.
Big right tackle. Couldn't hold his water. And Brett, it's hard to ask those big old guys to stay in that 3-point stance for that long. I mean, all that weight is just going to tilt over at some point.
I agree, Ken, and this is my soapbox every week. You know, teams want to go no huddle. And I'm not picking on Lamar or Lamar Consolidated. This is high school-wide or college-wise. A lot of teams just can't play at that tempo without making mistake after mistake. That's 24 penalties combined in this game. When you're trying to run out the clock by just getting 2 or 3 yards, that's all you need to do.
That's all you need to do.
Just don't go in reverse and stop the clock. So it's 2nd and 11. So Franklin remains in. Clock rolling. And with the play clock at 1, he'll take the football, rolls right, stays on his feet at the 20.
Wow.
And he flies forward to about the 11 or 12, and he's near a first down, but maybe a little bit shy, and he gets up slowly.
Yeah, he's limping as he heads back to the huddle. That's probably been the most effective quarterback keeper we've seen all night. Franklin with a burst through the line of scrimmage, so now it's 3rd and short as we go under a minute. Mustangs still with one timeout, and they're going to take it now.
Well, Ken, they let some seconds roll off that play clock.
They did. A little indecision there on the near sideline, deciding if they wanted to take the timeout or let the clock keep going. You're almost in no man's land now. No timeouts. So you have to come up with a defensive stop here. 3rd and 1, and even if you come up with it at best, you may get the football back with time for maybe 1 or 2 plays with about 10 seconds if you're lucky.
You almost have to go for the strip and do whatever you can to try and force a penalty. Otherwise, again, you'll have no time, or it's just going to be cost prohibitive to getting down the field and tying up the game.
And if you're Lamar, you could almost take a knee here. I mean, if you wanted to.
Good point. Run out some clock.
You could take a knee here. You have to run about 5 or 6 seconds off. Then you're going to have another 5 or 6 seconds before the officials set the ball for play and start that 25-second clock.
Mustangs defense, they need to make a play. Remember, one drive into this game, Lamar Consolidated led 7-0. Not scored since. Lamarck was steering a 1-3 start in the face, and boy, they have played great football in the second half. It hasn't been a clinic offensively. Their defense has made several stops right now. It's their offense trying to finish off this game. Reggie Franklin's kept the football. How about that? A bad snap.
Are you serious?
And he's going backwards and thrown down by Ibekwe. 3rd and 1, and another bad snap at the feet.
Now let's see when the officials start the play clock. They roll it now at 35 on the game clock. So as we mentioned, it's going to be about a 10-second difference when this play starts. And they may just go ahead and let the entire 25 run off, take the 5-yard penalty.
I'd almost go under center and just kind of roll a little bit, try and eat off 4 or 5 more seconds. But again, we see Franklin back.
I think they're going to let Franklin run around for a while.
But you're worried about another snap or something that would be fumbled.
There you go, 10 seconds. But I'm with you. I'd put him under center because even if there is a fumble snap, you just fall on the football. Right. The snap goes over his head. I mean,
you're risking a return.
Blake look, absolutely.
Ken, I've thought about a flaw in your thinking from a couple of minutes ago when you talked about how you'd rather be inside when it's clearly lightning and raining cats and dogs outside. As we hear a crack of lightning and thunder.
Right.
You're still going to have to get to your car at some point, though, unless they drive it under the stadium for you.
Well, you know, I could just camp out here tonight.
Yes,
you know, I mean, we have a good football game coming up here tomorrow. Cougs and Owls. Good seats available, I'm sure. But yes, it will be a treacherous walk to the media parking lot here tonight.
Fans having a good time, though, inside. With 10 seconds to go in this game. So Lamarck will try and eat up a little more clock. I don't know if they'll be so daring to try and get the 13 yards they need for a first down, but even if they can run 6 or 7 seconds off, would give Lamar Consolidated just one play.
One play, absolutely.
Ladarian Ellis-Jones has not come back in these last few plays. And Franklin just trying to run. Staying on his feet, chewing up some clock. There's 1 second to go. In fact, now the clock says 000. There should be a second or two remaining.
I think Coach Patton says that's it. That's the ball game. Or they're going to put a second back on the clock.
You should put a second back. I know it's one play, but if I'm Lamar Consolidated, I'll take my play because clock should have been stopped and it just kept running for those final couple of seconds. They put 2 on the clock.
All right, so 2 seconds on the clock.
So one play, and I'm sure every once in a while at the end of practice, each team pulls out that Hail Mary effort, hook and ladder, the lateral, whatever the case may be, when they need to go 75 yards for a touchdown, then kick the PAT to tie.
Well, we'll see if they can come up with the old 77-yard play.
So here we go. Randall throws one into traffic. The ball knocked down. That'll do it. The Cougars from Lamarque get a big win. They defeat Lamar Consolidated 14-7 to move to 2-2 on the season. And the Mustangs, they scored on their very first drive, but they are denied the remainder of the game as the teams meet at midfield. Cougars over the Mustangs 14-7.
Well, partner, 24 penalties in this one tonight. Nearly 200 yards combined for both ball clubs. A lot of futility out there on the field today, but Lamar did get it going in the second quarter. At the end of that quarter, got the touchdown to get them the eventual 14-7 lead. Scoreless in the second half, but they come out on top.
You look at what Lamarque did defensively. They just really took away any first down plays and sometimes second down plays from Lamar Consolidated, leaving the Mustangs with 3rd and long, maybe not comfortable throwing the football downfield, and their defense dominated in the second half.
Absolutely, and Lamar Consolidated, this is a team that averages nearly 270 yards on the ground, just a little over 100 yards on the ground here this evening. That's the bread and butter of their attack. You stop their running game, you stop Lamar Consolidated.
Lamarque scored at the end of the first half, and they were able to move down the field quickly in about a minute and a half. And looking back, how important that drive was to be able to get that positive momentum, the points, the 2-point conversion, and take something positive into the break.
Yeah, a great job by Coach Jackson, getting Ellis Jones on the move outside the pocket in a comfort zone where he was able to complete some passes downfield.
Each team 2-2. Lamarque gets the win tonight over Lamar Consolidated by a score of 14-7. So for Ken Moore and our entire crew, I'm Brett Dolan saying good night from Reliance Stadium in Houston, Texas.